So welcome and thank you all for joining us today. If this message resonates with you well, if this is something that, again, when we're here to talk about effective prayer, and we did see a very positive impact when we all came together and did it for Florida, right? So we're here to talk today about effective prayer, and if this is to resonate with you in any way possible, if it does, please utilize it. Please feel compelled to share this with others. Share it to your page so this message can get out. Because what I would like to do is continue spreading the word of this technology that we all have within us, and to continue the blessings and use this for healing of our country and for specific needs that people may have. So, um, what I'd like to do is just kind of add on what effective prayer is. Many people, when they hear it, they're not sure. It's kind of a new word. And it really comes down to much of the scriptures, much of the things that we've been taught, much of the things that we've been conditioned to believe in our country has greatly been edited or changed in some way from the earliest time periods. And I don't want to go really in depth with that, but I want to say this, that during these times of great change, many of the things, the great teachings that started out, we've lost text, we've lost words, we've lost instructions on that tell us how to pray effectively. And when we grow up in this country the way we are, and we're conditioned to think we are, we don't understand that feeling is the prayer. We start to believe that uh, our words are actually the prayer. The things we say are the prayer, and that's missing a big piece. How many times have we? I mean, the Bible says, "Ask and you shall receive." Right? How many times have you asked for something in your life and yet nothing changes? You don't get it. You don't receive it. This is because the asking is not done with the words; it's done with the feeling. And if we use the right words, hey, Carol, thanks for joining us today. Okay. Glad to have you here. Um, Briefly, for anyone who's doing this, including Carol, please just comment below on where you're from and what it is that you would like for us to either add to today's prayer or a prayer that will continue 1 week from today. Okay. I mean, if you just think about it for a moment, you can just feel the uneasiness in the air. And this is a great time for us to come together and use this technology of effective prayer. So, like I was saying, prayer, the feeling is in the prayer. That's how we begin to, uh, that's how we begin to access this technology that we all have, is through the feelings in our body, not through the words that we speak. Now, if we say the right words, where again, we're conditioned to think if we say the right words, if we um, say them at the right time, if we say them on a specific day and in the morning, maybe on Sunday, if we're saying these specific words, we think that that's what's going to move the needle on making things happen for us. But it's not the case. What we need is feelings. We need to feel as though um, our prayers are answered, feel as though the outcome that we're wanting has already occurred. Now, we witnessed that with Florida. Yes, the hurricane did hit, but uh, I've had feedback from at least a dozen people thanking me for my efforts to put this together, because they had noticed that it wasn't near as bad as the media and everyone was portraying it to be. It's like the hurricane lost power. It went from a Cat 5 to a Cat, I think it was a 3, and then it lost power pretty significant, um, which is quite the opposite of what many people were interpreting it if you're paying attention to the media and the news and everything else. So we really did a good impact on that. And that's what was the intention of this. Um, does this work on other things? Absolutely. I have witnessed a video, 1975, I believe it was the time of a hospital in China, where 3 doctors were trained to feel as if things happened. And there was a woman on this table with a bladder tumor that was inoperable. And of course, the Western doctors told her there's nothing that we can do, nothing that can be done for this. And these three doctors started to generate the feeling in their body as if it had already been healed, coming from the outcome as if it's already healed. And within moments, within very minutes, you get to see this tumor disappearing. Okay. Lauren, Amy, thank you for joining me today. Okay. So just write in the chat what you would like us to cover today in effective prayer or get to next time, because we'll be doing this a week from now. Glad to have you here. So again, if you have been in soul formation in the past, you've witnessed this video. I shared it with this group of this tumor disappearing within minutes of using feeling-based technology. So extremely powerful. It's not something that some people have and others don't have. It's something we all have. Okay. So again, that hospital's no longer there. But again, there's a video maybe some of you have seen before. I've shared it with some people where in 1975, they used this technology to heal an inoperable bladder tumor within moments. I'm just going to briefly say this. Don't forget, on November 16th, I'm going to put together, I'm putting an event on that's going to describe personalities that are responsible for creating disease. And they're probably going to be things that are surprising to most people. When we hear of things that cause disease, we're talking about genetics, we're talking about microbes, we're talking about maybe stress at times, things like that, environmental toxins, and these all play a role. But the personalities that create illness is one that's misunderstood, the most difficult to screen, test for, and obviously very difficult to understand and effectively treat. So November 16th, personalities responsible for chronic disease. It's a free event, if I remember correctly, right? November 16th. So we hope you're there. So back to this technology that's in us about effective prayer. Okay. This field of energy, what I'm sharing with you is this field of energy that we could call divine, we could call God, we could call infinite intelligence, whatever it is that resonates with you is definitely responsive to human feelings. And so we have to understand, if our belief about ourselves, if our belief that healing is going to happen someday or it's on the way, if we feel that our relationship that we're wanting is on the way, if we feel like the healing of our nation is on the way, depending on a certain outcome of the election, okay? And if we feel like the abundance, the healing, the abundance is on the way, this field of energy acts like a mirror, and it's only going to reflect back to us more of someday, someday, someday. And that's a very important distinction. It's a very important point that we need to understand. This field of energy, infinite intelligence, God, is a reflection. It's basically a big mirror. And the way to really use this very subtle but very powerful technology is understanding how God responds to our prayers. It acts like a mirror. So when it comes to praying about anything, about the things we're going to go over in a moment, when it comes to, we must first feel in our body. And sometimes we may have to condition ourselves to do so, but we have to feel in our body as if feel in our hearts, feel in our body as if it's already happened, as if it's already occurred, praying from the outcome as if it's already taking place. So now I want to shift our attention to the conflict that we're in. You know, not only are we a few weeks away from a very intense election with lots of energy in the air, but we're also simultaneously having a tremendous amount of conflict going within ourselves because of this. There's this battle going on right now between flesh and spirit. Okay. So some of the things that people have asked for is prayer for true liberty, freedom, the prosperity of our great nation becoming what she was created to become. Waking up and coming together against evil. That's something that we absolutely have to have. Um, Praying for a difficult pregnancy. Yes, I see you. We see you. Worldwide unity and love. Only seeing the best in ourselves, only seeing the best during these times of conflict, and nullifying this geoengineering, this massive manipulation of weather that we're all being exposed to is all part of it. So as we begin to pray, I'll say these words, but again, we want to feel in of our body as if these things have already occurred. Okay. Knowing that each one of these is in divine mind. We're all known in divine mind. God is in the midst now, guiding us all to do the right things, make the right choice. We're all surrounded by the sacred circle of God. God's armor is protecting us now. In this moment, we want to see ourselves as fully protected. We want to hear any sounds that come to our mind. We want to feel the feelings as if our prayer is fully answered. If there's any smells or any tastes or any other sensations going on, just be aware of those sensations. But most importantly, feel as if our prayers are fully answered. And this is God in action. And feel as if it's done, feel as if it's taken place. And this is God in action. And again, thank you for joining me today. Please place in the chat whatever you want us to pray for when we meet next week. We'll see you then.